Nigerian politicians flee as US finally fixed date to storm Nigeria. Right, the president. All right, so no be small thing. Donald Trump has finally fixed date to storm Nigeria with his US Army. Oh my God. Anyway, my dear listeners, I begin my greetings to everyone listening to me through this very channel. You're all welcome to the Lord TV. Yes, so the president Donald Trump has taken it up this time to make a public declaration, making it clear to Nigeria that look, he's coming to Nigeria is already close. That is coming is going to bring a complete change and total transformation, putting an end to terrorism and wiping away all sponsors of the terrorists. I would like you to pay attention to this very video yourself and know how it's been said. Please spare me a little of your time as I drop this news.
Access to the country. Fulani militants and ISIS-linked extremist groups from neighboring countries take advantage of this policy to carry out mass murder, rape, and kidnappings.
We're also calling on President Trump to reissue, which he did in his first term, the designation of country of particular concern, and that then gives the president wide latitude to impose sanctions. It's an excellent bill when it's used properly. It gets the attention of all the policymakers, in this case in Abuja. He says, we're not kidding.
During a White House press briefing, I asked Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt about the crisis in Nigeria.
And do you know if there's any action that the president will take?
I'm not tracking a call between the president and the head of Nigeria. I know the president wholeheartedly condemns the persecution of Christians or, frankly, of people of any faith all over the world, but I don't have any updates for you in terms of sanctions in this part of the world.
In one such instance, the U.S. president ordered the preparation of plans for military action against Nigeria because the African country has allegedly failed to stop the killings of Christians. President Trump's vow to send troops, all guns blazing, to eliminate Islamist terrorists has jolted both Washington, D.C. and Abuja, rekindling old fears about the United States' appetite for intervention overseas. Aman Kumar Himanshu.
All my swallow lovers, gather here. Now let me show you something that will make your life much easier. Introducing the automatic swallow maker. This swallow maker, it will pound your yam, it will turn your eba, even this plantain that you are seeing, it will turn it into any swallow at all. In a matter of seconds, you need to stress yourself going the old traditional way.
Reports.
Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter.
It all started on the 2nd of November when President Trump instructed the U.S. Department of War to prepare for military action against Nigeria. He wrote on Truth Social, "If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast." He added, for good measure, that the U.S. could dispatch troops to Nigeria and carry out airstrikes to tackle the Islamist terrorist groups that are behind the killings of Christians there.
A lot of things are envisaged, a lot of things. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth replied to President Trump's social media post saying, "Yes, sir, the Department of War is preparing for action." Open declarations of war by Trump and Hegseth raised global alarm. Some feared the possibility of a new U.S. military engagement across the Atlantic. Others worried that a unilateral U.S. strike could destabilize Africa's most populous country. Trump claimed that a record number of Christians have been killed in Nigeria. He alleged that Christians in Nigeria faced an existential crisis and that radical Islamists were responsible for the killings. A few weeks ago, U.S. lawmaker Ted Cruz demanded that Nigeria be declared as a country that violates religious freedom. Nigeria denied all allegations. Its president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, defended by saying that Nigeria's very identity is based on religious freedom and equal respect. Nigeria does not promote religious persecution, and that the country's constitution guarantees the protection of all religions. Nigeria's foreign minister chimed in.
What we've done is we've articulated what our constitution says about religious freedom, what our federal laws say about religious freedom, and not this. This Nigeria's constitutional commitment to religious freedom and rule of law. All the answers are in there, and this is what guides us, and this is what shows that it's impossible for there to be a religious persecution that can be supported in any way, shape or form by the government of Nigeria at any level.
According to a report by International Society for Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law, religious violence has claimed more than 7,000 Christian lives between January and August. President Trump has since designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern for its alleged violations of religious freedom and persecution of Christians. Some of the other countries designated as such include China, Myanmar, North Korea, Russia, and Pakistan. Nigeria was first placed on the list by the US in 2020, but the designation did not single out attacks on Christians. The designation was lifted in 2023 in what many saw as a way to improve ties between the US and Nigeria ahead of a visit by the then US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. On 5th November, Nigeria's government rejected its designation by the United States as a country of particular concern, calling it misguided and based on inaccurate information. Nigeria, Africa's largest democracy, is multi-ethnic, multi-religious. The northern part of the country is mostly inhabited by Muslims. The southern part is inhabited by Christians. Boko Haram and Islamic State West Africa are fighting the Nigerian state. They target anyone who does not fit their imagination of a good Muslim. This includes Christians, but Shia Muslims as well. In central Nigeria, herder and farmer communities clash over access to resources such as water and land for pasture. Herders are generally Muslims and farmers are Christians. In 2024, the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom found that the violence affects both Muslims and Christian populations in large numbers. According to the US-based Armed Conflict Location and Event data, there have been 20,409 deaths from 11,862 attacks against civilians in Nigeria between January 2020 and September 2025. It includes 385 attacks on Christians that left 317 of them dead.
I think the urgent appeal for United States of American government or the military not to collaborate with Nigerian government or Nigerian military, the evidence is getting clearer and clearer and clearer. You know, one of the options put on the table by the United States government is to share intelligence with Nigerian government to collaborate with them to wipe out terrorists. But that was met with a stiff resistance. Why? Because Nigerian government is paying these terrorists. They recruited them, they imported them, they put them into the military. So there is no how you share intelligence with the terrorists that you can also, wipe away the terrorists. It will not happen. The allegation of Nasser Rufai and Babadati Ahmed.
Yes, Trump finally confirmed that he will be storming Nigeria, making it very clear to those politicians funding and supporting the terrorists. In fact, I won't tell you that how joyfully I am with this very news that have just be unveiled. I'm the most happiest and the most loved information personality. In fact, I'm so happy with this very information. My dear listeners, please help to start sharing this very information for everyone to be informed about this. Nigerian government must be pushed to shame on this very matter. I'm overwhelmed at this. Please, thank you.